All right. All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem Rakak. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men who taught me this truth. I would like to say shalom to Yakim and Fuakwath, you men, women, and little ones that believe on the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. It's your brother Micah Allah coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemal Shai, Lord willing to edify. And the title of this lesson is More Evidence. You see, more evidence. And as you can see, I got this article right here queued up from businesswire.com. And this was posted May 13th, 2025. It says, Synchron to achieve first native brain-computer interface integration with iPhone, iPad, Apple Vision Pro. You see? So the stage is set. And those of us that have been given eyes to see and ears to hear by Yahweh Shemal Shai in these last days, we know exactly where this is heading. You know? We already know where this is going. See? We already know where this is going, man. And what you're witnessing, those of you that tune into this lesson, if you're not already hip, so to speak, you're witnessing Bible prophecy or the beginning stages, of this prophecy, Revelations, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse. You're witnessing this be fulfilled in these last days. And it's only a matter of time before it's made manifest. You see? It's only a matter of time. You see, we already know where this is heading. Everything is becoming contactless in this society. People are, getting comfortable with contactless, payments. You see? You don't too many people, pull out a, couple dollars or make exact change with cash. You don't see too many cash transactions. You see? And all of this is fulfilling the will of Yahweh Shemal Shai at the end of the day. But let's get straight into the scriptures. This Luke 21 and verse 29, it says, And he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees, when they now shoot forth, you see and know of your own selves that summer is nigh. So like it, that summer is now nigh at hand. So likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the Most High is nigh at hand. So when we see these prophecies come to pass, when we see these different news articles, like the one I just showed you, right then and there, really that should bring rejoicing, to you believers out there. Why? Because with us seeing these prophecies come to pass, we know that, the kingdom of Yahweh Shemal Shai is now at hand. You see? We no longer have to wait, on things to be, set up, so to speak. It's a time and a season to every purpose under the heavens. And we're in that time, in that season of the Lord fulfilling his promise, which is to bring about these major prophecies such as the MOTB, you know what I mean, as well as the destruction of America. These two major prophecies will be fulfilled, and we're seeing it with our own eyes. Let's get this right here. It's Habakkuk 2 in verse, I'm going to start at the top. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. You see, and this is why the prophets, starting with our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, have been set up in these last days to do. To make these prophecies plain upon tables. Make it plain to the elect. You see? That's why the Spirit is on us, you know, to bring forth certain articles, you know, to really bring clarity, you know, that the Lord's, you know, foretold of these things to come. You know, the Lord had already predestinated these things to come to pass. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. You see, so the visions, which is these prophecies, have been set for an appointed time by Yahweh Shema Shai, an appointed season to come, you know, into its fullness. You see? And how do we know that we're at the end? How do we know where we at concerning the prophetic timeline? Why do you hear brothers say we're at the end of this thing? Because we're seeing the prophecies manifest themselves. That's how we are able to identify where we at on that timeline. You know, it's not like it's gonna take an extra 10 years for the MOTB to be implemented. That just don't make sense. Because we're seeing, you know, too many evidence that is leading and pointing to the charagma coming to pass now, in this season, in our time, right now. You see? And it's only going to be made clearer and clearer as we get closer to the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai. You see? But going here, I'm gonna go here. Says Ezekiel 33, and I'm gonna start at 1. It says, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coasts and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. You see, and this is just breaking down to you the job of a watchman. And we come in that same stead over here at Great Millstone. We will be the prophets coming back to do what? Warn the people, man. Mainly you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're warning you on these prophecies that the Lord is about to bring to pass concerning, you know, the MOTB, first and foremost, and the ultimate destruction of America by thermonuclear fire. And we're warning you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. We're blowing that trumpet, you know, warning you and telling you that the Lord said, don't take that charagma, you know? No matter what. No matter how hard times get, you know, the Lord said don't take that charagma. And we're warning about the charagma because you're going to have a lot of people outside this council that are going to take that charagma. Why? Because they ultimately trust in this system. They ultimately trust in Esau Edom, so-called white man. It says, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. Exactly, because you heard the warning. That's why the blood is going to be on your hands. That's why the fact that the Lord has the Spirit upon us, you know, to prophesy and to warn you and to teach you, you know, in these last days, that takes the blood off of our hands. Now we're washing the blood off of our hands by warning you. So now whatever you do after you've heard the warning, that's just on you. You see? It says he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him, but he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. Exactly. So you got all these guys that's coming up against, you know, Great Millstone, coming up against our apostles and elders and on the doctrine, you know, of what we teach over here at Great Millstone, you know, talking about ain't no Jacob's trouble, you know, we already been through that, you know, but by you doing that, by you holding fast to that belief, that non-accurate belief, you're going to get yourself destroyed, man, you know, because you got Israelites out there that's not building upon our Lord Yahweh Shai. You got Israelites out there that don't even believe that the Lord is coming back, you know? That's why you'll hear certain Jakes talk about, you know, we 1,000 years, we'll be here 1,000 years, you know, 20 years, 30 years. That's why you hear certain madness like that, because these people really don't believe that the Lord's coming back. But the Lord is definitely coming back, because if he don't, we already know ain't no flesh gonna be saved, man. It says, but if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. You see? That's why it's important to warn you. And we see a lot of Israelite camps out there. You're not warning Jake, man. You're not warning them on what's coming, on what's upon us, you know? Guys talking about ain't no microchip. You know, you had niggas playing games with nigga had a Lay's potato chip, or it might have been a Pringle, you know what I mean, making mockery of the doctrine of Yahweh Shema Shai, not knowing that the fact that you're not warning your congregation, the fact that you're not telling them the 100% truth, when they die, the Lord is going to require their blood on your fucking hands, man. So when the Lord take them out, he's going to take those of you that don't warn, he's going to take you out as well for not warning them, you know? It says, so thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. And this is what you're seeing taking place. That warning is going out. We're telling you, so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans out there, we're warning you, hey, the Lord on the left-hand side through Esau Edom, he's bringing that MOTB. He's bringing Revelations 13 and 16 to pass. You know, don't take it. You know, we're warning you, trust in the Lord, you know. This is what the prophets is telling you, but what Jake telling you? Jake over there making mockery on TikTok. You know what I mean? Jake more worried about vain things, so to speak, than what's in front of them. Because this is a prophecy that's gonna affect everybody. It's not like this is just gonna affect, this certain region over here on the planet Earth or this country here. You know what I mean? No, this is gonna affect everybody. Everybody on this planet Earth is gonna be tried, during the hour of temptation. Everybody's gonna be in that moment or the hour of temptation. You see? And only the elect will survive. Going back to that Luke 21 and verse 32, it says, "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away." You see? So the Lord has spoken it, and he's going to make good on his promise. You see? So everything that's written in this book will be fulfilled. That's how we know for a surety that the MOTB will come to pass and America will be destroyed with thermonuclear fire. Really, everything in this book will come to pass because the Lord spoke it. And we know he's not a man that he shall lie. But it says, "And take heed to yourselves, lest at any times your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come upon all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth." You see, so the Lord is coming like a thief in the night. But remember, Yahweh Shai also said, "Blessed is their servant, for when he cometh, when his Lord cometh, he shall find so doing." Roughly paraphrasing. That's those of us that are, continuing to do the work, continuing to feed the sheep, and believe on Yahweh Shema Shai and hold fast to this report. Those that continue to endure until the end, to Lord willing be saved, But that's why we're standing upon our watch. We're watching. That's why we're watching the prophecies. We're looking at different news articles. We're listening to, we're listening to, Trump and his executive orders that he signed off. We're looking at how this devil's ruling like, or setting the stage to rule like a cruel Lord. We're watching for these things because we're the watchmen. But those that are outside this council, these people are not watching. You look at these people on a daily basis. These people don't know what's about to hit them in the mouth. And that's what's going to get them killed. The fact that they don't know, And this is the way the Lord set it up. The Lord set it up like that to snare you people. The Lord did this on purpose so he could be justified in killing you. That's why it's a scary thing, to fall in the hands of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's why we promote the fear of the Lord. That's the best thing for us to do is to, really fear Yahweh Shema Shai. Seeing that the Lord, controls the right hand and the left hand side. The Lord does good and evil. This is the Most High's chip, as the Apostle Taha would say. You see? Because the Lord is in control of all of this. It ain't like the Lord don't know that Esau, Edom is his plans is to have the whole world chip. It ain't like the Lord didn't know that. The Lord created Esau. He created the wicked. But it says, watch ye therefore and pray always. And this is the time of watching and praying. You know, praying to be kept from the said perils. You see, because it's going to get bad out here, man. Words can't explain. It says that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man, you see? So watch ye and pray always. Pray without ceasing. You know, as the brother Tazawan Amath always bring out. Pray without ceasing, man. It's the time, you know, to be fervent in prayer. And constantly, you know, asking Yahweh Shema will try to have mercy upon us in these evil times that we in. You see? Going back, this James 1 and verse 12, it says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord Yahweh Shema Washai have promised to them that love him. You see, so it says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation. We're all going to be tried. We're all going to be tried with this charagma. But the Lord is building us believers up now to be able to endure the times that we are about to enter into. That's why you're seeing the spirit on brothers, you know, to really get our diets together, you know, and really refraining from, you know, the ways of this world, you know. That's why the Lord, you know, you know, you'll go through like a roller coaster ride in the truth. Sometimes you'll be up, sometimes you'll be low. You know what I mean? What the Apostle Paul said, I know how to abound and I know how to be abased. But these things are well needed because now the Lord has reduced us to being content with the little things, with the little things that the Lord gives us. Unlike these people outside this council, they just, you know what I mean, they don't know how to be content. They don't have a content mindset, you know? They don't know how to go without or to just deal with the bare minimum. They don't know that. They haven't experienced that because why? Well, like Revelations 18th chapter, these people live deliciously. Meaning they live without care. They don't think about bad times. And that's what makes these people foolish, because a prudent man foresees the evil. And now that we've been blessed to foresee the evil, we've been allowed to hide ourselves under the pavilion of Yahweh Shema Washai, which is this truth, because this truth is the only thing that's going to keep us stable in the times that we're in, you see? But everybody outside this council, they don't have nothing, you see? That's why it's really going to punch them in the mouth when the Lord opens up on this place. You see? But that was pretty much it. Lord willing, that was edifying. I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men who taught me this truth. Peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect, you men, women, and little ones that believe on the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.